everyone, welcome back. It's Angela. So good to have you here with me again today. We're going back to our little to have and to hold wedding journal, or if you are making a spring version of this. And I thought I would bring you an exciting little piece of ephemera that I was working on to share with you today. So we're in our first little signature here. You remember we did this one the last time, the layered envelopes. So that's the one we did before. And today we're going to go to the other end of the signature, so the back page. And I'm going to put something together on this page over here. All right, so that's what we're going to do. I'm going to put that to the side and get straight to it. The first thing you need is an envelope. This is a US envelope that I was gifted, very fortunately. I'm going to trim this. So the reason I've chosen it is for this large window. Now, guys, remember what I've said to you before. If you don't have an envelope exactly like I'm showing you, just take 2 pieces of paper. Let me just sort of show you here. So, for example, a piece of paper, fold it to the measurements you want. All right, and then take out the size window out of one of the layers, so the top layer here, and cut the window, and then you can glue the sides. Okay, so that would work as well. You don't have to have one of these, but as I do have it, I'm going to show you what I'm doing. Now, any window envelope will do, any mailer. So this is one that has been used. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is share some measurements with you, because I'm going to trim this off. From the base here to the top, we're looking at 6.25 inches, so 6 1/4. That is 10.5 centimeters, and width-wise, we're looking at 4 1/4 inches, or that's 10.5 centimeters, and the other way is 15.5 centimeters. In inches, 4 1/4 and 6 1/4. Okay, so that's what you need to do. So at the 6 1/4 mark, or 15.5 centimeters, I've drawn a line here, and I'm going to cut this straight off the end. I'm leaving the bit with a window, and we are going to cut off the other bit. All right. And this bit would make a lovely pocket, a flip pocket actually, because it's got a flap. So I'd hang on to that. Okay. Right, so we've got this bit here now. So this is the size I'm happy to work with. And my one does have a flap. It doesn't have to have a flap, but this one does have a flap. If you don't have a flap, or it's open a little bit there, or you've slit it and it's open there, you can just glue down the sides. That's going to work as well. All right, but because this one has a flap, there's nothing wrong with that. Now, what I want to do first of all is get rid of that background. So I've taken one of the pages from my To Have and To Hold kit, and every page and every piece of ephemera and add-on that I'm using is from that To Have and To Hold collection. It's the full kit that I put out this month. All right, so this is the one with font, and I want to stick it over that area on the inside. Okay, so I'm just going to take my glue. This is the one that's ready to go, so I've just grabbed it off the stand. I'm going to get that down, so that'll give me a bit of a background, and I'm going to try and get that to cover this area here. It's just so that I don't see that coming through the window. Now, I don't want to press it down quite yet, because we've got this flap bit, and that's okay. All right, so we've got that stuck on the base. Not on the window side, the base side. Right, so I've got that there. Okay, now I have got it a bit overlaying, but that's fine. When this closes, it'll all be good. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to cover the front of this. Now, I think I'm going to have to just trim this off a bit. I think I glued it. No, that's right. Okay, just trying to get it flat. Use the bone folder, Angela. There we go. Okay, so we just leave it like that for the moment, and I will be folding this along this line here, and I'll tell you the height of this is 12.5 centimeters or 5 inches high. Okay, and at that mark I'm going to use my bone folder and just make a fold line. All right, so now like that. All right. You can make it straight again, but it's just so that you know where the fold line is. Right, now what I want to do is I'm going to put a little bit on here, and I've got a little bit of lace, and I'm putting that on this window so that I don't forget it, because I'm terrible for doing that. And then I have measured off a piece of one of these pages, the background pages, this lovely one with the flowers, hearts and hat boxes, and I'm going to put that on there. But before I stick that down, I want to take out the window, and the way I've worked that out is I've been quite mindful of the widths of the window, and I've made sure that mine is slightly inside of that window. So where the window is that wide, I've made it slightly further along. Okay, so this isn't going to fit exactly, but I've just measured even amounts on pretty much on all sides. All right, and the way I do that now, and you see me do this many times, is I just like to take my craft knife and cut out this little piece here, which is the window bit. Okay, so not too, you can use your scissors, you know, you don't have to use a craft knife if you're not great with craft knives, but I do find it really handy. And I'm just going to there we go, so that bit is there. Now that piece could be used as a piece of ephemera, so you could put a little quote and do something with that. So that's something to hang on to. So we've got this bit now, and I want to get this stuck on over here. Now remember the lace, Angela. Oh, let's just get the image the right way up. Okay, so that's going to go over there, and this my page is this side. I think I'm going to put this on this side. So let's get the lace on, because I am, as I said, I'm really bad at remembering to stick the lace on. So you want to stick your lace on before, not like me who has to then make a plan. So we don't want to do that. So I've just got this lace. It comes from my stash. I've had it a while, but I think that you can get this. I think it's called eyelash or something like that lace. I think you can get it from Plum Boutique if I'm not wrong. You never know. I think I've seen it there. And then I'm going to just cut off this piece with my huge scissors, which are really sharp. Okay, a nice little morsel of a scrap. You know I'm going to do something with it. Right, we've got that bit stuck on there, so I'm happy with that. Now we can go and stick this bit down. So I'm just going to give it a bit of an inking here, just a bit. It's really light colors, this kit, so you want to use well, in my opinion, you want to use a really light distress ink to do that. Okay, otherwise, and I'm going to just grab my vintage photo here. You can use this, but I would daub that on something first. So right, so we want to stick this down now, and just be mindful of that fold line. Let's get that down. Let's make sure you got it the right way up. I do. So I want to start with this side, I think, and then get that all sorted there. Okay, there we go. Right, quite like how that's coming together. And now I'm going to just distress it a little bit more. Now at this point, if you wanted to stitch around there, you can do. All right. You don't have to though, so don't worry about that. It's not a must. All right. Right, this is an important bit now. Right, we're going to do something different now. It's something I haven't done before, but I just had this idea today. What I want to do now is I'm grabbing some of my sequins. Now, this is a box I got from Amazon. It's got all sorts of sequins in here. And because we're doing a wedding album, I wanted to sort of emanate a bit of confetti. So if you've got confetti, even better, but I don't. So I'm going to open this up now, and I want to put in some bits inside on top of the paper here. That's going to show through there. Okay, so I'm going to just stick with some of the colors that I've got. So I've got pink, I've got smaller pink, I've got white, got smaller white, I've got a little bit of silver. I don't know if I want to put in a, yep, we're putting a pinch of gold as well. So I'm just putting a few sort of colors in here, and maybe a little bit more on the pink and a little bit more on the white. Oops. Okay, so a fair amount. You'd be the judge of how much you want to put in. Okay, so there's a fair amount in there if you have a look. Yeah. And now what I want to do is I want to close this up. So we're going to seal it all in. So I am going to just run the glue on the inside here, and I want to seal up the top flap where we're going to fold it over as well. Okay, so that we've got it all sealed in. So we'll get that done. It's all in the corner at the bottom there. We're going to stick that bit up at the top. So let's just make sure that's stuck nicely. And now, because we've got this page over here, that's great. And then we want to just make sure that we get this all stuck down before we put the backing on. Okay, so there we go. Now we've got a little shaker flap. Look at that. How cute. So we've got a little shaker flap going on here. Right. I just think that there's... And you could even put seed beads in here. You could put anything you want in here, really. But there's plenty going on there. Okay, so on the back of this now, I want to then just put a little piece to cover that area there. Now you could put a tea stain piece of paper there. It's up to you. I just want to get that tucked in over there. I think what I'm going to do, no, I can't now. I was going to say, no, I'm going to go and stitch around that. Well, I think maybe I can. Let me go and do that. I'm going to stitch around here. You don't have to do that. It's just me being me. But I think I'm going to do it before I put the back on. So I'll see you guys just in a moment. Okay. You by no means need to stitch around that, but I quite just like the finish that it's given it there. So I'm quite happy with that. Okay, let's stick this on the back then. So this is going to go on the back here. And I didn't actually distress this, so I'm sorry about that. Now, when this flaps up like that, you don't want to see this upside down. So I'm going to, you know, it's the alternate way to what it would be if this was down. Now you could, I was saying to you, you could use tea stain paper and glue that on the back and have a lovely writing spot. But you could also have the pattern paper like I've got and use it as a place to stick a lovely photo or, you know, something like that. So that's what I have got here. I've got the same as what I had on the front. Now just be mindful of this fold line so that you don't get that in the way. And then we can just cover up everything there. All right, so we've got our little flap bit done, our shaker flap. All right, so that's looking great. We'll just stand that over there for the moment. And now I'm going to show you how to make the base for this. So this is a piece of paper. It's one of the background pages. Love it with the gold and the pinks and the white. Just beautiful. Okay, in centimeters, you're looking at 21 centimeters by 17. And yeah, 8 1/4 by 6 3/4. Okay, so once you've got that size, you want to just fold that in half. All right, so I've done that. So really easy. And then you want to cut a little notch out, I think. So just take a circle punch or whatever you have. I'm just doing a really shallow little notch because we're going to make this into a little pocket, sort of a fair size pocket at that. All right, and then I think what I'm going to do is you can either glue, let's glue, nothing wrong with the gluing, so let's do that. I'm just going to put some, we just want some glue there and some glue on the other side, just on those two sides, like that. Get that glued up, and then I think we will just distress this a little bit, just on the edges. So I'm really getting into putting this journal together now. Sorry if I've had a little bit of distraction with the mini journal and everything else, but I've loved playing around with that little mini journal, and I see that such lovely feedback from all of you as well. Don't forget, if you're wanting a mini journal, I do have the sale on still, so go and pick up a bargain. It's in a digital format as well as the printed formats, so go and take a look. Right, so we've got this here, and I have got writing on here, so just make sure you've got that upright. Okay, so we've got that. So we've got a little pocket made, and you can go and stitch along there if you wanted to. Now, what I want to do is I want to stick this at the back of the pocket. So we're going to just put that up there like that. Now, what I'm going to do is, before I stick this down, I don't want it to exceed the edge. So I'm just taking a little bit of an angle off the flap here. All right, so just angled it slightly, just so that when I stick that down, it's not going to get in the way here. All right, so this is easily done. You just want to get your glue out, and we want to just stick that behind. Now, just remember when we go and pair them up, not to buff them right up into the fold lines. So you want to make sure it's even. Okay, just bring it down a little bit, close it so that you can see it's going to be okay, you know, as far as not affecting the fold line. So we've got that like that. I just want to turn this over and just use my bone folder to make sure this is going to lie nice and flat. So there it is, yeah? So we've got that there. Okay, so we've got the flap there. We've got a beautiful pocket here where we can put in some items, which we will do shortly. And now I just want to finish up a little bit over here. So what I did was got a little pocket. So this is one of the pockets from the add-on kit. It says I love you, and I love that. It's gorgeous. I'm going to use this and stick this on to the other pocket. So we've got that there. Oh, I nearly forgot this third flap. My mind is all over the place today, in a good way, nothing bad. Right, so I want to just get it at the bottom here like this. Yeah, so we're just going to even that up. I'm not going to do too much that because I think it's such a pretty picture. And I love that, so that's great. And these colors are working so beautifully together. I am loving that. Right, so got some goodies to go in here now. So I've got this beautiful Catherine Klein postcard. This is my favorite postcard of hers. I've backed it onto card, so it makes a nice journaling card, and it goes perfectly with this kit. So I'm putting it in that pocket there. And then I've taken one of the small tags, also backed it onto card, stitched around it, put on this beautiful faux silk ribbon, which is stunning. I love this. And I'm going to put that on that side there. All right, so that's what's going on in there. We've got our flap at the top here. Get down like that. So that's great. And I've got this beautiful card that I've made. So this piece here comes from my Ephemera and Sentiments kit. That's one of the sentiments, Forever in Love. And then I've taken the freebie that I had in my Facebook group with the roses on, the shabby roses, and just put a tab. This also comes from the add-on kit. So that's how I've done that, and I've just stitched around it. So I love that. Beautiful. And I'm going to slide that into the big pocket that we have just made. So if I just open that up, you can see where I'm putting it. So that should fit in there easily. All right, so we've got the little bow sticking out. All right, so we've got that there. So I'm going to just open this up now. There's some decoration I want to put on here. And I'm going to just do that. Right, so the first thing is I've got one of these lovely leaves from Delicate Leaves, which I have been using for this kit. Love these. These are beautiful and delicate. And I've just cut this out of that aloe vera cardstock that I talked to you about in the introductory video when I was going through all the items. So I'm going to just stick this over the side here, and it's going to go a little bit into the lace, but that's okay. Right, so we're going to stick that there, like that. Then I've got a little leaf. This is from my freebie. A little leaf was on there. And here's one of the little roses. That's also from that page. And then I've just got one of these pink die cuts from the mason jar. So it's also a Sizzix. So I'm going to stick that one on next. And then we've got our shaker stuff going on there. Okay, and then we can just get this nice and flat. 1 minute it's flat and then it's not. Okay, so that looks great. I like how that's coming together. And then that can go like that and that can go like that. All right, so let's get our book out. I think I'm going to take this back page to the side here quickly. Want to just put on a little bit of not tattered rose, I want the Victorian velvet, and then I'm going to just use my little makeup brush thing, which has never been a makeup brush, but you know. Right, and then I want to just get some lacy bits onto the corner here, so I'm going to very softly start at the corner, and I'm not really going in any particular pattern, but I'm just putting it around. Sounds bad, doesn't it? Okay, so we just got ever so lightly these little bits here and there. Okay, so just little tweaks of it there onto the tea stain page. Okay, and I'm happy with that. Now I'm going to take this. I'm going to take this out quickly. I don't want to get glue on that, so I want to hold this bit here. I'm going to take my glue and I'm going to stick this down onto this page. Make sure you get plenty glue, especially on the edges. All right, and then we'll turn that over and we will get that there. Now I'm just opening this so I can see that I have it straight. Get that nice and flat There we go. Right, so this can go back in there. And that little tag can go in there. And then this one can go back in here. All right, beautiful ribbons from Plum Boutiques. I love that. Okay, so this now can go back where it's meant to be. So we've got a nice bit on the front and a nice bit on the back. And now when we look at it like this, this will eventually lie flat. We've got a nice shaker flip. So we've got our shaker flip over here. Look at that, looks like confetti, doesn't it? I love it. You got your ribbon there like that, so we can lift that up. Place to put a lovely photograph or something. You got beautiful tags and postcards to write on. Lovely pocket there, and another piece sticking out the back there. All right, that was a quick one, wasn't it? I hope you've enjoyed that, everybody. That was a quick and easy one, but I liked it. I just had to do something with sequins and have a bit of a shaker effect in this wedding themed journal. But of course you can do it with any theme. It doesn't have to be sequins. Go and look for all sorts, even tiny scraps of paper. I've done it with before. All right, have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you for following along. Don't forget, if you were looking for something from my store, I still have that sale running until the 10th of March. So go and grab a bargain there. I look forward to seeing you guys. I'll have another little video ready for you on Sunday. So stay safe and take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.